Good morning, kindergarten. Okay, let's read a story and then we'll do some calendar. So, this book is about frogs and tadpoles, since that's what we're learning about in science. It's called Curious George Tadpole Trouble. George was exploring a lake with his friend Bill. George was an explorer and always very curious. He was especially curious about tadpoles. Bill told George he could be in charge of the tadpoles they found. George took tadpole watching very seriously. He watched them swim in their glass bowl. He fed them boiled lettuce. He took them for a swim in the lake. At the time, it seemed like good exercise for tadpoles. So he let their pet tadpoles go in a lake because he thought it would be fun for them. When the tadpoles did not come back, George started to worry. What would Bill say? He had to find them. George spent hours at the lake. He found turtles and beetles and minnows, but no tadpoles. Every time George would visit the lake, he would look for tadpoles. Several weeks went by. Finally, he found something that looked kind of like a tadpole, but it had legs and almost no tail. So George let it go. But you guys know that that's just a tadpole that's grown up a little bit. A few weeks after that, George took a walk in the city to think about his tadpole problem. He was going back to the lake soon. Bill would be very disappointed if George had lost the tadpoles. George walked so long he found himself in front of the museum. He saw a butterfly that reminded him of being at the lake, and he followed it. The butterfly flew into the museum, and George kept following, past all kinds of exhibits. There was a special display about creatures that lived around lakes. George knew about many of them, like turtles, minnows, lizards, and tadpoles. The picture of the baby tadpole reminded him of his own tadpoles. Next to it was one of the funny creatures George had seen at the lake. It had legs and a smaller tail, too. Now he understood. The creatures with legs were tadpoles, too. His friends had not vanished. They were just changing and growing up. George was excited. He left the museum without finishing the exhibit tour. As soon as George got back to the lake, he looked for his missing friends, especially the ones with the little legs and almost no tails. But they were not there either. This time, George could only find frogs. Lots and lots of frogs. What a good idea, George, Bill said, seeing the empty jar. You decided to release the tadpoles into their natural habitat so we could watch them grow into frogs. You're not only curious, you're smart too. Let's take a picture of you and the frogs together. George, smile. Since that's the life cycle of a frog, from egg, tadpole, then it grows legs and loses its tail, and then it's a frog. All right, calendar. I'm going to point to the month. Do you remember what month it is? It's May. So we're kind of getting into the middle of May now. This was the beginning of May. Now we're in the middle of May, and this will be the end of May, the end of the month. Okay, let's figure out the date. Yesterday was May 12th, so what comes after 12? Let's count to find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So today is May 13th, and 13 is a 1 and a 3. But what color is it going to be? Our color pattern is red, red, blue. Red, red, blue. Red, red, blue. Red, red, blue. So today is going to be red, and then another red, and then blue. Okay, so here is the red 13, a 1 and a 3. I'm going to put that in there for today. And now let's figure out the day of the week. But before we do, can you figure out the day of the week if we know that yesterday was Tuesday? What would today be? Because look, yesterday was Tuesday. So do you know what comes after Tuesday? I'll give you a hint. It starts with a W. Wednesday. So today's Wednesday. I'm going to move my arrow down to Wednesday. So if today's Wednesday, that means tomorrow starts with a TH. Thursday. Okay, let's see. So we have last day of school right here. Let's count how many more days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 more days to the last day of kindergarten. So on this day, in the morning, if your parents say it's okay, you can drive to the school, to St. Francis, and drive around the parking lot, and you'll see some of your teachers like Miss Catkick and I, and maybe some specials teachers too, wearing masks so we all stay safe and healthy, but we'll be waving and saying, congratulations, you did it, you're done with kindergarten, okay? All right, now let's do our weather. The season is spring. The weather is warm and cloudy. In fact, it might even be drizzling out there right now. I know it rained all day yesterday, and it might be drizzling a little bit this morning too. Okay, let's do our pattern. So say the shape with me. Let's say the shape together. Star, 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 square, square. Star, 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 square, square. So that letter pattern, think about it. There's 3 stars, and stars are A's. So we know it starts with A, A, A. And then there's 2 squares. And since squares are the second shape, that means squares are going to be B. So there'll be 2 B's. So 1, 2, 3 A's and 2 B's. Okay, let's say it. A, B, B. A, B, B. So A would be next. All right, months of the year. I'm going to move this up to the first month of the year. January, February, March, April, May. That's the month we're in now. And then June, July, August, September, October, November, last month of the year, December. All right, that's it for morning meeting. Next on the schedule is journals.